Oh, hey, buddy, what's up?
Hey, Arlo, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are the kids?
They're great. So the Metroid Prime 4 previews went out today. I don't suppose you've been looking at any of that?
Oh, no. I'm going spoiler-free until launch.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
What's up, man?
I'm gonna send you a clip. There's something I think you need to see.
Okay.
Wow. What a mess. You're alone on a planet with no hope of survival. But you're also not sitting next to Phil anymore in that cubicle, so... win?
Arlo, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I don't know why you sent me this. What is this?
This is a clip from Metroid Prime 4.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Arlo, it is.
I don't know what you're doing here. This is not a clip from Metroid Prime 4.
This came from the previews that went
No,
out
but
today.
like, look, I'm sorry. I just woke up. My brain's having a hard time keeping up with all this. The processing isn't there yet. Like you're telling me that this is Metroid Prime 4, and I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing like this weird alien space environment, and the guy's dressed up like a space marine, and even on the bottom, the subtitles, they're like the Metroid Prime font. But what I'm looking at is not Metroid Prime 4.
It is what you're looking at.
It's not. You keep saying that, but it is not.
I know it's hard.
It's not hard. It's not anything. It is simply not Metroid Prime 4. That's not what I'm looking at here.
I am upset too.
No. People can do things like this, right?
Yes,
this is
it's
AI.
No,
it's AI. It's
not
obviously.
AI.
Do you not know how to spot AI like people do?
Not AI.
These like funny
I
meme
do,
things
do.
all the time.
But you need to
It's what
calm
AI.
down.
I don't need to calm down. I don't
I
need to
think
calm
you need
down.
to calm
That's what
down.
AI does. Is it takes something
Arlo, I
good
think
and they
you
make
need
it
to calm
bad,
down.
and they make it bad, and they wreck it, and they make it stupid. But that's not. But like, do you not
Arlo,
really? Like,
buddy.
people can do this easily.
Look,
It is
buddy.
clear. It is. I have eyes.
buddy.
Do you have eyes?
Look,
I have
look,
eyes, and it is
yes,
crystal
yes,
clear to
I
me
do
that
have
some
eyes.
12-year-old kid typed this
I know
into
it seems
Sora
that way,
for
but
the meme.
that's
For the
not
meme.
what
Do you
happened.
know what a meme is?
I do
This
know
is
what
simply
a
the
meme
future
is,
that we are
and
living
you
in, and I don't know
need
why
to
you're making such a
lower
big
your
deal out of it. I
voice.
do not need
It's
to lower
just
my
a
voice.
video
I do not
game.
need to
It's
lower
not
my
the end
voice.
of the
It is
world. We need
you.
to
It is
treat
you that has
this
the problem
like
here. I don't
rational
understand.
adults.
I don't understand.
You're
The Metroid Prime 4 is only a couple
I
weeks
get
away
you.
from coming, so
I
I don't know
completely get
why
you.
you would throw
I
something like this at me.
understand.
No.
I'm upset
You
too.
understand. You don't
I just
understand.
need
You
to
don't
calm
get it.
down.
My channel turned 11 today. Did you know that? 11 years today. And out of those 11 years, I have spent 8.5 waiting for Metroid Prime 4. That's a long time. That's a lot of my life waiting for this game. And we were so darn close to the finish line. We were so close. Everything up until now has looked pretty much perfect. It's everything I've seen of this game is everything that I could want a Metroid Prime 4 to be. But today the embargo lifted on preview footage, so lots of media outlets are posting their early impressions of the game, and it seems there is something that all of the marketing material has been leaving out, seemingly on purpose. Apparently, this game has quippy characters. Yeah. Metroid game with quippy characters. Apparently, the very beginning of the game has a very quippy character. I'm showing some clips here that I pulled from the video that Logan over on IGN did. He's a cool guy. I got to talk to him at PAX a bunch. Really nice. But his preview talks about this, and yeah, apparently, like, pretty much right at the beginning of the game, there is a guy that Samus has to rescue, and, you know, he makes a bunch of, like, little funny quips, and follows you around, and tells you what to do, and reminds you about stuff, and constantly just kind of, like, doesn't ever stop talking or making jokes or making little, like, you know, kind of like modern, like not like modern references, but like little quips that are definitely modern ones. The big bad M word comes to mind. No, not Metroid, but Marvel. It's the kind of thing that you would expect to hear in a Marvel movie. And of course, this kind of dialogue has kind of penetrated much of the industry, both in film, television, and now video games. I personally am not a fan of this kind of thing. The thing is, this kind of character, like literally the entire point of this kind of character, wherever they put it, is to relieve tension. It's to relieve tension. And modern like games and movies and things, they have this thing where they feel like uncomfortable, like legitimately uncomfortable with the idea of atmosphere and tension and like emotional moments. They have this weird like nervous need to break the tension at every opportunity. And I think it's also kind of one of those like, I don't know, it feels like a corporate meddling thing sometimes. You know, it's like we need to make the game more approachable, more, you know, better suited to a wider audience, and kids and everybody. They all love this kind of like quippy Marvel humor. They all love it. That's gonna make your game sell way more. They keep saying that and they keep trying it, and it simply does not work. We all hate it. We all, universally all, hate when characters cannot shut their mouths. And out of every game series in the entire universe to receive this kind of treatment, Metroid? I don't know. You know, the atmosphere and the tension and all that. It's a little important. It's a little bit important to the Metroid series. Ask any Metroid fan what they love about the series. And if they don't say something about the gameplay, the Metroidvania formula, then they're gonna say it's the atmosphere. It's the feeling of isolation. It's the vibes. I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't need to summarize this. You know this. Everybody, every single person who has ever played a Metroid game knows this. And apparently, during the first significant chunk of this Metroid game, you're followed around by a guy who cracks jokes and tells you what to do and, like, screams whenever an enemy pops up. And not only that, apparently this is basically like an escort mission. Like, he tags along and you have to protect him and you can't leave him behind, because if he dies, you get a game over. You're literally forced to have him with you and escort him where he is going so he can quip at you the entire time. And no, it does not stop when you get him to the escort point. Apparently then, he establishes wireless communication with Samus so he can talk to her whenever he wants. Having characters and dialogue and stuff in a Metroid game itself is not necessarily bad. Overall, Metroid Prime 3 in particular had a lot more characters and talking and cutscenes and stuff than the other games. And it worked. And it definitely helped to like flesh out the entire story, made it feel more like an actual story. And that was cool, but there was something that was kind of lost, just a little bit. It was worth it for a new kind of experience, but there was this sense that like, yeah, it is true. Even having like a robot character, like there's like an AI character that talks to you sometimes, and it wasn't too bad, but it definitely did kind of take away some of that feeling of isolation, the tension. All of the characters in that game were still pretty darn serious. You know, they fit the vibe of the game, and even then, that still did something. That still impacted the game. But quips? Like quips? References to working dead-end jobs in cubicles next to annoying coworkers named Phil. The word nerdy. The word nerdy does not belong within 1,000 light years of a Metroid game. Annoying tag-along characters are strictly antithetical to the entire Metroid idea, the very essence of Metroid. It flies in the face of it. And so, of course, the question is just why? Why and how? Well, it can't be a case of corporate meddling. When has Nintendo ever done this? When has Nintendo ever insisted that their game has to have Marvel humor in it? When? That is not a thing that has happened. And if you look at this footage with this guy, like, it is obvious that all of the marketing material has been carefully edited to keep this guy out. He's there in like the opening areas of this planet. All of these like all of the trailers up to now have been so moody. So just like moody and atmospheric, and Samus is alone on this planet. Apparently, she's not been alone this entire time. Every single cut in these trailers, there's been this guy just off screen, in between shots of these cutscenes. He's been there, and they have been meticulously keeping him out, almost as though they know. Almost as though they know, because how would they not know? Because are they humans? Are they people who have played Metroid before? I recognize that I am feeling and acting emotional right now. I try not to get emotional, and I certainly don't want to judge something too early. I have not played the game for myself. I do not know for sure how this is going to go down, how it may or may not affect the atmosphere, and I don't technically know how much of the game is like this. I am not feeling particularly confident for two reasons. One, as Logan points out in his video, there's like log entries for 5 other Federation characters, suggesting that we're probably going to be rescuing and interacting with a whole entire cast of characters, and maybe all of them can just kind of talk to us whenever they want. I don't know, but it seems to likely be the case. Also, even if this really was just the beginning of the game, it was like just this guy, just what we've seen right here, and after that it stops and nothing else happens for the whole rest of the game. Well, like, think about, like, have you played Metroid Prime, like the first one? Imagine if you landed on Talon 4 and this guy was there. How would that have impacted the overall experience? Do you think that might have affected the atmosphere moving forward? Take like the best really serious dramatic movie that you've ever seen, and imagine in the opening 2 minutes there's like a Dumb and Dumber bathroom scene, you know, and it's the only point in the entire movie where that happens, but like, what does that do? What does that do to the experience? And then, of course, what does that say about the people creating this art? What does that say about the people who made it? I don't want to start jumping to conclusions here. I don't want to start throwing out accusations, but I cannot help but remember how a few years ago, Nintendo started hiring a whole bunch of like AAA game industry veterans from like all of like from Sony, a guy who worked on God of War and someone who worked on Tomb Raider and all this stuff. And I was only feeling excited about it. I was like super stoked because to me that meant like, oh yeah, AAA sauce. That just means like better graphics and cutscenes and more action. Just like a more technically amazing game. But with AAA veterans working on this game, you know, now we're seeing this. What is this? This is a very AAA kind of thing to happen to a game. Are these two things related? I don't know, but it sure gets me thinking. When they introduced the bike, the Samus cycle, I thought it was cool. And I definitely recognized that is weird. That is very strange. Big open desert areas, like that is a new thing for Metroid that could potentially have an impact on the atmosphere and the feeling of claustrophobia and isolation and all that stuff. And like, oh, you're just gonna turn Samus into like a cool sci-fi like bike ride? Like that's not really Samus, right? But like I'm open to the idea. I recognize that it could go somewhere not good. It could have a negative impact on the game, but I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm willing to keep an open mind and just be like, it's probably just a cool thing. It's probably gonna be okay. But apparently that was a sign. That was a herald. That was a red flag, a bad omen. I can't say for sure if this is gonna like ruin the game for me or anything. And by all accounts, the rest of the game is great. All of the other untainted atmosphere and the mechanics and everything, like it all does sound perfectly Metroid Prime. Maybe it'll still be okay. I totally want to keep an open mind. I want to go into it expecting that it could still be great. I just don't see how it could. You know, I don't like just seeing what I just saw. I can't imagine a scenario where that could be the way that it is and things could still be okay. And the game could still have the kind of feel that I live for, the reason I play these games. Maybe a lot of people will be fine with this kind of thing. And apparently you can go in and turn down the volume on voiceover, so you just see the subtitles. That probably helps a little, but then of course then you're not hearing any of the dialogue from any of the other possibly good characters, and like it's still happening. You still gotta read it and they're still following you around. So I don't know, but like I'm sure maybe for most people it'll be okay. I really don't know. For me though, I am particularly sensitive to this kind of thing. I am particularly annoyed by characters who do not shut up. I have a particular love for getting sucked into a game, getting totally immersed and just integrating my very soul into the game's atmosphere, and stuff like this just shatters the immersion for me. It is very, very easy for that illusion to break, and when it does have a very, very strong negative impact on my experience. At this point, we'll just have to wait and see. It's just, it's just that we were so close. We were so close, and it's Metroid. It's okay, though. It's okay. I'm okay. It's gonna be okay. Just gotta calm down. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna go throw up, and then I'll be okay.